is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
It was a good day out. It was a good opportunity to get some exercise, to have some time with my wife, which was very nice, and to get a haircut. So it worked out pretty well. Okay, it worked out pretty well. Of course, I had my review of The Last of Us Part 2 that I put up on YouTube, and, I had my conclusion live stream Monday night. And admittedly, unlike back in the day, when a giant high-profile new release would come out, and I would be one of the first people to beat these games and review them, I'm probably one of the last. Seriously, I'm probably one of the last people who reviewed The Last of Us 2. Most people rushed and had their reviews either out at the launch of the game or within a week. And here I was over 2 weeks after finally beating the game and reviewing it. Okay? I definitely enjoyed the fact that you guys were there with me live. It was kind of a cool experience. To be able to be here for kind of the conclusion of this very polarizing game. And to be able to, share that with you live on a stream was pretty cool. Basically, for the people who I saw, the good news here is most people, at very least, respect my opinion. And that's a good thing, okay? For me, being a very different person now than when I started on YouTube, back in the day it was like, it's my way or the highway, and if you disagree with me, I don't give a fuck about you because I'm right and you're wrong. I don't feel like that anymore, okay? I feel that, especially with a lot of these games coming out, they're very polarizing, and people have the right to feel differently about them. I realize there's probably many people out there who played The Last of Us Part 2, and they feel like it's the best game ever, 10 out of 10, and hey, if that's what floats your boat, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, how dare you like something I don't like? That would be incredibly immature, But I also have the right to criticize the game in my own right, as I did in my review.
If you're disagreeing with me, you're factually incorrect. It doesn't matter what you think. You're wrong. So you're wrong. I'm sorry. You can have another opinion. It's going to be wrong.
And it seems to me like my viewing audience is kind of torn 50-50. Like 50% of the people are in agreement with me on what I said and the criticisms I laid out in the review, and 50% are like, well, despite all your criticisms, I just really liked the game anyway, and I feel that there was more nuance to the game than you got. And then I ask what the nuance is, and no one can actually explain it. Like, okay, what was this actual nuance that you felt was so amazing in the game? Someone was like, oh, I hated the game, and I sat and for 2 days I thought about it after I beat it, and I came back and now I love it. It's my favorite game ever. So, ladies and gentlemen, I beat the game 2 days ago, alright? I've thought about it for 2 days, and I've come back to tell you, I still hate it. My thoughts have not changed at all, that I think it was terrible. Okay, I think the plot is one of the worst I've ever experienced. I hated the moments playing this game because of it, and I don't ever want to play it again.
I'm the one who's always wrong, right? I'm always wrong. I'm just some kind of a grumpy old man, Like, I guess I'm too old for that shit.
Okay, in fact, yesterday, I said this on Twitter. I was like, man, playing the game was very exhausting, and I'm actually very happy that now that I'm done with it and I've reviewed it, I'm done with it. I don't have to talk about The Last of Us 2 every day anymore. I can just say it's done with, now we can move on to other stuff, because that's kind of how I feel. Now that I've been through this very stressful, misery-filled ordeal, the ordeal is over, and I can go back to enjoying games again. Not to say I didn't enjoy the gameplay of The Last of Us Part 2, because I did enjoy the gameplay elements of it, but whenever we got back to a plot element that was terrible, I hated it. And I hated having to continue it and having to keep going, and now I don't have to anymore because it's done. So for me, that's actually quite relieving that now we can get back to enjoying ourselves. Seriously. Because that's not how a game should make you feel. If you're going to play a hyper difficult game, like let's say a From Software game, and you're stressed out because the game's difficult to play, that's one thing. If you're playing a game that the story is so horrendously miserable that it's difficult to play just to put up with the misery of the story, this is the first game that's ever happened to me. And I've played video games my whole fucking life. So that says something. And it's not a good thing. It's a very bad thing. Okay? So I even said yesterday in a tweet, I said, you know, when I beat The Last of Us Part 1, we sat down in the credits and talked about it very excitedly about the possibility of a sequel, and as soon as the game was re-released for PS4, I bought it and played it again because people wanted to see me play it again. It was that good of a game. This game, I seriously don't want to play again. And I actually was talking to my wife about this. I said, let's say The Last of Us 3 gets released, and people request I play The Last of Us 2 again. I swear to God, this is what I will do. I'll play the game, but I will skip every cutscene. I will skip every fucking cutscene, and it will just be pure gameplay, because the gameplay is what I liked about the game. The story was the worst ever. So I will just skip every cutscene and only do gameplay elements of a second playthrough if I'm ever forced to do one.
And I realize that I am one of the older content creators when it comes to gaming. A lot of people who are doing this for a living are much, much younger than me. Maybe I'm just an old fart. I am. And I have these feelings that are very different from what you guys maybe believe and feel. And what can I say? That's, I guess that's it.
Okay? So, that, anyway, I'm just glad it's over with, seriously. So, for those who watched the playthrough, thank you. For those who watched the review, thank you. I honestly have no idea how either are doing because I don't look at views on YouTube anymore. Nor do I look at views on stream. I don't even know how many viewers I had for the conclusion stream. I don't care. I don't look.
Fuck you. You're a liar.
Phil Burnell, proctologist, tipped $1.01 and said Kanye announced today he's making his own political party called the Birthday Party. He wants to make the whole White House like Wakanda. Well, it looks like you were completely right about him not taking this seriously and doing this for publicity. Like, that's the kind of guy he is. He's always kind of been like that. Do stuff for publicity value. Do I feel he's being serious about running for president? I have no idea. This guy could be in, like, this long-running joke. Or he might actually be serious. Alright, one of the things he said in this interview that was released this morning that, at this point, I can't believe I'm hearing, and quite frankly, I would hope that this one statement would be enough that people will not take him seriously as a political candidate. He says, oh, I'm anti-vaccine, and I think that I had COVID-19 back in February. I didn't see a doctor or anything. I just toughed it out at home and rolled around and felt like shit having a fever. And, you know, vaccines are part of, like, the KKK and white supremacy, man. So they want to put microchips inside of all of us, mark of the beast stuff, dude. You can't do that. Now, I just want you to think about what he just said, all right? The man who wants to be the president of the United States is basically telling people that vaccines are bad. So he would tell you that when they design a vaccine for COVID-19, not to take it. And he wants to be the ruler of our country, or I say the ruler. He wants to be the head of the political system of our country. That has 1,000,000% eliminated him, in my mind, as ever being a serious contender as a politician. He doesn't give a fuck about the well-being of anyone. He's a nut job. If he's being serious, that's the thing. Maybe he's not. Maybe this is a joke to him. Maybe this is just like, you know, he saw Donald Trump got elected, and he thought that he would do things for attention during his presidency, like wear the hat and go see him and shit. And now, maybe this is another way for him to just get attention for himself. I have no idea, okay?
That's like me, right? That's like me.
But I'll tell you right now, when you make harmful statements like vaccines are bad and no one should take them, you are going to kill people by saying stupid shit. And I would never say something as dumb as that. It's fucked up, you know? Not to say that I have any kind of reach like he does, but that's just completely fucked. So, I will never pay attention to another thing this motherfucker says, ever. And I hope you will treat him the same, because when he says, oh, I don't care about the people of America, don't take a vaccine, because that's like, you know, the mark of the beast, dude. I say, alright, so you're a brain-dead idiot, and I'm done fucking listening to anything you have to say.
That person has 100% has the right to share their opinion. It's called freedom of speech.
Lights for sold at 150-bit cheers. I'm in a Panda Express drive-thru. Do you want anything? Not from Panda Express. Panda Express used to be in my local mall when I was a teenager. I had friends who worked at Panda Express, okay? My friends wouldn't eat there. They knew that all the food was frozen and basically would just be thawed out, tossed under a fucking heat lamp, sitting there all day long, overcooking, becoming dry and disgusting. But anyway, Panda Express is a pass for me. Especially where I live, there's so many authentic, good Asian-style cuisine restaurants out here of so many different cultures. We've got Japanese, we've got Chinese, we've got Taiwanese, we've got Vietnamese. So there's like 5 others as well that I'm not coming to mind right now. There's so many that I would never eat Panda Express. So that's a hard pass for me. Lego Mario tipped me $1, so there's a suggestion for the next DSP tries it. Instead of buying random fast food items, why not go to someplace like Walmart and buy a food product, buy the cheap generic store brand, and buy the same thing, only more expensive, and compare the two?
No.
Number one, I'm not going to Walmart. I fucking refuse. I'm not stupid. That's the worst place I could possibly be right now with the way the world is. I'm not stepping foot in Walmart. That's a big no-go. If you had an actual example, Like you said, well, here's a product, you get a generic, you get a name brand, you can compare the two. Then please, by all means, but I don't know what you mean. Like, what you're talking about here. The whole appeal of DSP Tries, I've explained this many times to people. The whole appeal of DSP Tries it is that when I review a fast food item, that's an item that most of you guys who watch that show could go try yourself. You could watch my review of it, and based on my feedback, say either you want to try it or you don't, and you could go get it yourself. That's the cool thing about DSP Tries it. Me trying a product that's a new common product that you can get.
Fast food, right?
Now, I went to a specific store, bought a specific thing. Like, people say, why don't you eat a salad? Because who the fuck cares about what I think about a salad? You can make a salad yourself at home. Why do you want to see me make a homemade salad or buy a salad from my local grocery store? What the fuck does that have to do with the show? It undermines the premise of the show. That's why I don't do that. So if I go to my local grocery store and I buy a generic thing versus a name brand thing and I taste test the two, that's great, but why do you care? That was, like, kind of not the point of the show, right?
The Wendy's salad. I got a salad from Wendy's that when I ate it, I legitimately got sick to my stomach for about a day and couldn't stop shitting and puking. It tasted all right, but I got sick as shit after eating the Wendy's salad. I will never get another fast food salad like that ever again.
Last Rainbow Tree says, your tirade against the Switch is false. There are Switch exclusives that run well, while there are games on Xbox One and PS4 that ran poorly. It's up to the developers to tweak the game. You're right, but isn't it funny that the first-party developers seem to be fine making the games for Switch, and everyone else who makes a Switch exclusive or a game ported to the Switch runs like duties? You notice that, right? I'm not making it up. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was a game designed from the ground up to be on the Switch, and it runs like shit. This game, Deadly Premonition 2, supposedly is going to run like shit, even though it's a Switch exclusive. You can't make it. I'm not making these facts up. It seems to me only the first-party games run well on the Switch, and everything else runs poorly. These are facts. This is not, I'm lying. This is fucking documented, dude. Like, you gotta understand something. The Switch is not a great console.
Fuck you, Nintendo. Fuck you, Nintendo. You suck. You don't know what the fuck you're doing anymore, you dumb fucks.
It has great games. When it comes to the first-party stuff, it's not a great game console. It's under-fucking-powered for what modern game devs want to do. And, I'm sorry, not every game dev is going to completely redesign their process of how they make games just to port a game or make a game exclusively for the Switch. It's, do I blame them to some extent? Yeah, the game should absolutely be more polished, but when you're forced to make a nerfed version of what you want to do to run on a console that's basically a generation behind, this is the kind of stuff that happens. And Nintendo continuously does this over and over and over. They make underpowered consoles generation after generation after generation, and people make excuse after excuse. I'm not one of those fucking people.
Phil hates Nintendo. No, it's the opposite. I love Nintendo and Nintendo games and what they do with their stuff. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone. Just gone like that. In an instant. Fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. By eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you. No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. Is the guy who just doesn't get reality.